Hi everybody, Alan Doctor Who here. This is a response vlog to Frank, and I appreciate the comment. You asked a question about why I stopped playing in 1975, and it was a number of things. At the time, I didn't realize what my mindset was, and I came to understand something probably since 1999 when I went to a college course. It's 300 hour course on repairing PCs. At the time, I think it was Windows 98, and a few of my buddies that I know I grew up with, fellow musicians, told me I had dyslexia, and I guess I was in denial. I never realized it before until I went to the course, and I realized I wasn't picking up on the class like everybody else was. And I came to the realization that it had a lot to do with focusing. Now, this could be like attention deficit disorder, and I'm sure it probably has some relation to dyslexia, but I realized then that I had to admit it to myself that I had a problem, and then from then on, I started researching this on the computer about being introverted. Also has to do with confidence. You don't have a lot of confidence when you're dyslexic, because you always seem to be wrong. Like the teacher would always correct me on pronunciation of words, and it just felt like you were constantly being beaten up, and that led to insecurity problems. And it still exists today. I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of that in my subconscious. So, but anywho, I didn't like the idea that, see, I had a brother group. I had my two brothers, Cookie and Ricky. Cookie is the bass player. He's the next under me, a year and a half younger than I am. And Ricky, who was born in 58. And he was the baby of the group. He's the drummer, and we had a group in the neighborhood, and we were very popular. We had a very good following. We didn't have to advertise where we were playing; just we played somewhere, and people came, and that's the way it was. And I didn't have that feeling like when I played with other musicians. You see, in the neighborhood, we had a lot of musicians that would want to play with you. But what they were doing, they were basically in the learning stage. So sometimes they would, well, I know for a fact they were recording, and they would pick up on all the little nuances that I was doing, or the little things, But to me, it was a lot, So I was a little insulted. I know I should have been flattered, but and I don't even know if they retained any of that signature Al Bond sound, But my sound was sort of like I was influenced a lot by Cream, Eric Clapton. So I was really trying to get that sweet singing sound that he got, like that violin thing, and it was sort of like a cross between Johnny Winter and Eric Clapton. My playing. That I was really influenced by Jimi Hendrix, because Jimi Hendrix, before I started playing professionally, and professionally I mean paying gigs, it was only from, I'd say, 69 to 1975, and that was the duration that I was actually playing more frequently. And I wanted to address that thing about okay, I'll go to this one first, about dreams. Frank mentioned something about dreams, and I used to dream in a weird way. My daydreaming was rocking in my bed. I would rock back and forth. This was something I did to go to sleep, and it took a long time because, going back and rocking back and forth, people, not people, but when I went to camp, my camp leader, my dorm leader, thought I had some sort of an epileptic fit or something. I said, no, this is the way I go to sleep. But I also, at that same time, would be sort of like daydreaming. It's a form of meditation. And at the time, I was influenced very much by the Beatles. And I really wanted to start a group. I wanted to start a group mainly to get attention. But I didn't know that my introvertedness would be a block. So I really don't like to be in front of people because I never practice before I play at anything. I have a problem with that. So my warm up is really the first song. And when we played, we started off with either Iron Man or Iron Man by Ozzy Osbourne, and what was the other song? We would play Are You Ready by Grand Funk Railroad, and because that was a great opening song and was pretty simple. So you could warm up to that, And then we played. I played a lot of Cream, like I said. We played Hendrix, Johnny Winter. We played a lot of pop stuff, a lot of pop things at the time in the '70s. So and I leaned a lot towards the mid '60s stuff, like the Amboy Dukes. I don't know if you guys recall the Amboy Dukes. What Rascals, the Rascals. There was a whole bunch of very easy tunes to play. So I mean, it was not a big deal. But dreams do come true, and I came to that realization the last 15 years. I'd say my turning point for re-education started in 1999 after I finished that course on repairing PCs, because it was then that I actually realized how much my dyslexia had influenced me. And there's some key factors. Frustration is number one deterrent. Competition is not something I enjoy doing. I don't like to be competitive with anybody. And I also did not like. I'm very bad in crowds. So that's why I realized that I'm an introvert, and it takes a long time for me to warm up when I'm playing anywhere. So it's very important that the first song comes out good, because if it doesn't, then I'm in trouble. But I could always rely on Cookie and Ricky, because Cookie and Ricky don't have that problem. So anywho, that's my reply to you, Frank. Thank you for the comment. There's a lot more to this, by the way, but this sounds better than the first one I did. I'll catch you guys later. Love yous all. Bye-bye.